So we're in open G tuning, and this is a beginner video. And today I'm not using any finger picks. I will use a flat pick in a minute. Most people don't use, when they're first getting into this, they don't use finger picks. They're incredibly hard to get used to. So in the beginning, this is what I sounded like. Because the guys I was listening to on record, I didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know they were tuned to open G. I didn't know anything about open tunings. I just knew I liked that sound. I didn't know how they were sliding. I didn't know the technique. I didn't know anything. So, and I didn't have anybody to show me because everybody was into metal back in those days. So, or, you know, guitar teachers were teaching do, re, mi, fa, lo, sa, ti, whatever. Anyhow, so that's where I started. So I thought to myself, well, I have to isolate, you know, I knew about intonation and vibrato, so that's what I worked on. I started at the 12th fret in this area here. So I started here first. Trying to get, I'll move my thumb, my hand. I figured out they were right over the fret. Then 2 strings. And I was elated when I got that. And I wasn't using any picks, right? Then the vibrato, I would always go, you know, overshoot. I didn't realize, I came to realize that they were going to the fret back, fret back, back to the fret, back over the fret, back over the fret. So I practiced this for a long time. And then finally I learned to lighten up, so I wasn't pushing down. I was just like gliding on the string. And then I started just moving it a little bit over the fret. Because it's as much about muscle memory as it is about your ear. And then I started getting better. And then I would start sliding into notes. And then I would start sliding down to notes. So these two strings are where I started. And then I started this. And then this led me to here. That was one of the first licks I ever learned. So this is a G. Okay. This is a G. This is a G. Alright. Get your third. So here, at the ninth. Oh, sorry, here. And then, when I could add more strings in, when you get it on one string, it's easier to get it on two. Okay? Because you're always going back to the G, the one, your one chord. So what I'm doing there is I'm going. From 12, 10. Actually, I'm going down chromatically. 12, 11, 10, 12, 10, 8, 9, 8, 10, 12, 12. With just these two fingers, no thumb. Okay? Now once you get it in one spot, like I said with one string, it's easier to get in other places in the neck. Like if I want to slide to this G here. And they do the whole chord. Because this is your pentatonic here. That's your minor third, major third. But for now, we're just going to stay in between them. Then I started playing around at the 3rd fret, okay, with just these two notes here, which are the same in standard tuning as they are in open G. So I knew my flatted, because I knew my pentatonic scale, I knew my flatted 5th, whatever is right here. So I could use that. I could use it on both strings. So at this time, I didn't know any songs, right? I was just playing around, trying to figure out riffs. I would listen to records, the old guys. And this sound was so cool to me. Now sliding down was a real challenge. Well, never mind, all of it was. as long as you're always landing on that G, right? G, G up here. So here, then I learned this lick here, which is 12, 13, 11, 12 on the first three strings. So 12. The slide, okay, back to here, so I still hadn't learned to use my thumb yet. Then I started using my thumb going. Then I learned that basic little turnaround with my G7 going down like that. So you can slide up to it, or you can just go straight to it. And then, you know, that was a mind-blowing moment for me too. So to make it sound easy takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of concentration. It takes time. Then I figured out from listening to Son House, because he didn't use any finger picks, right? This motion here with just my first finger. At the 12th fret. So I'm doing like 4 strings. That was another mind-blowing moment for me. Sliding down like that on all those 4 strings, chromatically. Or sliding between the 12th and the 10th. Then I learned to go into my 4 chord. So now I was almost to the point, because I knew the blues form, you know, the 12 bar and the quick change and the 8 bar. So I was almost to the point where I could play, you know, in the 12 bar form, simply, of course, without my thumb, just this finger and this finger. Sliding down, that's when I started learning to put this finger or my hand. In some spots I'll just use this finger, and in some spots I will use like my whole hand. Like if I'm up here, and then with my 5 chord, 4 chord, stuff like that. So this would be my bass for my 1 chord and my 4 chord. And you're kind of going like this. You're playing on and off the beat. Keep that same bass for the 4 chord. Then for the 5 chord, use my D bass, my 6 bass string. 4 chord. So that was another mind-blowing moment for me. I haven't played without picks for a very long time, so forgive my mistakes, please. Then I figured out that I could do my G7 chord here, which is just holding it down, or here like this. So just playing around with all these discovering all these little riffs and listening to records and just getting maybe one. I remember one I worked on for a very long time, and I'll show it to you now, and I'm going to do it very slow, but Son House uses this. Robert Johnson uses it in Crossroads in a different timing, but it goes like this. It starts at the 5th, it goes... So that's all brushing, okay? So you're going 5th, 3rd, sliding down, open. Then here you're making a little dissonant sound by going between the, you're going somewhere between the minor 3rd and the major 3rd. So I'm on my 3rd string at the 3rd fret, and I'm kind of bending it. So I'll do it very slow. Sometimes I drop these. And then start over again. That was a mind-blowing moment, learning this chord here. So I'm at the 2nd string, 1st fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Everything else is open. You can use this bass because this is your D chord, your 5 chord. Or shuffle. Then after your fifth, in time, you get to the point where you can dampen it. So in the beginning, with the whole 12-bar form, I would use the slide as sparingly as possible because it didn't sound very good, right? Like when I came up to my 4 chord, if I was playing slide, I would just try to make sure my intonation, I wouldn't vibrato it at first. I would just practice sliding into it. Sit here and play on the 1 chord. So what I was doing here, what I learned, which was another mind-blowing moment, was at my 4 chord and my 5 chord, was this. I was listening to Robert Johnson and to Son House, was that they were playing this 7th, right? So this is your 4 chord, this is your 7 of that 4 chord. So when I would go up there, so sometimes I would go with the slide, sometimes I would go with my finger, as I got better, I figured out a whole bunch of stuff in this area here. And this turnaround here. Which is you're on your 4th string, 3rd fret, and you're hitting your top D. Or and if you watch Son House videos on YouTube, after he had relearned to play, like if you listen to his early recordings, he was unmatched when he was young. If you watch him, his videos from the 60s when Alan Wilson was teaching him, to relearn to play, his slide is at a weird angle. He's like, and he uses his whole hand. While he's singing. And it's kind of, I mean, it's all right, but you want to keep it perpendicular. So I always recommend to people who are new, if you want to play in a mirror, okay? And use that finger to brush up a lot. And back to this dissonant note here. Because he uses that in blues. And all I'm doing there is I'm just going to show you the one chord part. So I'm hitting the 6th string, but he's really snapping. That's not the song Jenks Blues. I am going to do a video on that song. I just made it into a 12-bar thing. But this is the lick. Okay. So D. And then you're thumping that G. So you're going. Just go around and around and around and around. Alright, because there's no, I'm not sliding in that, using any slide in that song. Finished up with the slide there. So I went to the D. This time when I went to the D, I added this note in. Then I went to my 4 chord, which is exactly how you would make a C chord. So this makes it into a 7th with this note on it, right? And then I moved that finger down to the 3rd fret, 3rd string. So I went. And then back. Okay, so the most important motion you can get. So just keep practicing that. now with the flat pick, so if you're a flat picker, you would do an upward motion. Turn around there, all I did was went. So the pentatonic scale going up from here, so you're going into G. So you're going 3, 5, 8, 10, 12. You already know your pentatonic. There's all kinds of little notes to play with in here. G7, G7. All I did there was went. So I'm at the 5th and 7, bend. Then I go to this note, I'm at 6. Chromatically go down. Do whatever. So there's lots of stuff you can do. See, I'm having trouble with a flat pick because I don't play with a flat pick anymore. But there's lots of stuff you can do. Anyway, I suggest that people start out playing with no picks at all. And then eventually you get to a point where you're playing with a flat pick, maybe you're hybrid picking. And if people want more of that, I can do more of that. Maybe you're hybrid picking, and then eventually maybe you'll go to finger picks. I don't know. Sunhouse never used finger picks. Robert Johnson used just a thumb pick. Hound Dog Taylor used one finger pick, no thumb pick. A lot of guys used, Johnny Shines used a thumb pick and a finger pick. Elmore James, I don't know what he used because there's no video of him. You can't see. So anyway, whatever works for you, but in the beginning, I suggest that people start out like I showed in one tiny little area, restrict yourself, and use just no picks at all. So anyway, I hope that helped. Thanks.